Good afternoon, students. We are back to class again, and I believe you have been enjoying the lesson. What we have before us is agricultural science, and the continuation of the topic we treated within the week has to do with what? Soil. So today's topic will continue from there. Types of soil. Types of soil. I believe you have come across different kinds of soil. There are some soils, when you look at them, they have various coloration. Some are dark, some are black, some are gray, and some are brownish. So this tells you the various types of what? Soil. And you should also remember what we say soil is all about. That soil is the uttermost part of the earth's surface which support plant growth and animal growth, rearing and dwelling. Now, having looked at soil in the recent part, we want to talk about types of soil. Here we have three types of soil: sandy soil, loamy soil, and what? Clay soil. Can you say that? Sandy soil, loamy soil, and clay soil. So these are the three major types of soil. You may quickly want to ask, but I thought there's another type of soil. Yes, we have another type of soil called seed soil. But this seed soil is a derivation from the sandy soil and the loamy soil. They are more or less soil that is gotten from these other existing soils. Now, we take them one after the other. Sandy soil. Sandy soil is a soil that is coarse, not fine, and it's rough. When you touch it. So when you look at sandy soil, you discover that it's majorly used in building. But we said the diameter is 0.2 millimeter to 2.0. That tells you that it has a very wide spore space, and that is why it cannot retain water. And most time, the water percolation is very fast and the filtration is very, very fast. Waterlogging is zero. It doesn't tolerate waterlogging. So when you look at sandy soil, it's very good for building of houses, building of farm structures or farm buildings, and it's also very good for planting of your crops, particularly vegetable crops, when you mix it or improve it with organic manure. And so when you watch over here, we said it assists the growth of oil palm, vegetables, cassava, groundnuts, when mixed with organic manure. So you can do that even at home. You will not have a very good soil to plant even at this very pandemic period, but you can get watery organic manure like poultry manure, mix it with the soil, sandy soil, and that can give you a well-befitting soil for growing your crops, particularly the shallow-rooted crops. Now, we have the characteristics of sandy soil. I've mentioned that in explanation, but here we have it is non-sticky soil. It doesn't stick when wet. That's why it is rough, it is coarse. Then it's low in plant nutrients. But when you look at sandy soil, it doesn't have enough nutrient to support plant growth. Waterlogging is nil. It doesn't support waterlogging. Why? Because water drains off quickly. Then you have large pore spaces which make water to drain off quickly. Then you have it. There's easy loss of water. So all this tells you that sandy soil is not actually the best soil for growing your crops, except when improved with organic manure. Now, looking at this, we have three types of soil here, samples of soil here. We have this, the sandy soil. The sandy soil is coarse. When you check your compound, or you discover that when you touch it, it's coarse. It has a rough particles. That's your sandy your sandy soil. It cannot support agricultural production. The next I'm going to now is the loamy soil. I have the loamy soil here. Loamy soil is is gray and brownish is dark in color rather. It's not gray, it's dark in color, dark and brown, blackish in color, while the sandy soil is savory and brownish in color. Now, it is the best soil for agriculture. That is loamy soil. Best soil for what? Agriculture. The diameter is 0.002 millimeter to this, and that takes you up so that most time the pore spaces are very slim, very small. It's not as sandy soil. Now, when you also look at loamy soil, most crops do well in loamy soil. Majority of crops in agriculture that we consume, call it vegetables, tuber, roots, spices, nuts, fruits, mention them, they do well right in loamy what? In loamy soil. What are the characteristics of loamy soil? When you look at loamy soil and you get it out from there, from the farm, you discover it is moist, always wet. Though it's loose, but it's moderate. The looseness is very moderate. It's not as sandy soil. So the pore spaces are still close up. Then it's not powdery. It's not powdery. It's not something that when it begins to goes off with the air. It's not powdery, but it's not sticky. When you wet it with water, it doesn't stick to your hand. It doesn't stick to your hand. It is dark brown or black in color. I've said that before, and it contains large amounts of humus. What is humus? Humus is derived from dead remains of plants and animals that are decomposed by living organisms, which we discussed in the last lesson, and that makes the loamy soil so full of nutrients for plant growth and then for a lot of agricultural production. Now, having looked at that, you should be able to discover the kind of soil that is loamy soil on your way to any place you are going to. After now, you should observe when you see a soil that way, particularly in the very grown places of plants and crops. You can check on the soil, discover that place you really discover what? Loamy soil. The next is clay soil. Clay soil, you can get clay soil from close to the river. So once you get close to the river, are majorly gray in color. And most of the time when they are dry, they are caked. And it's very hard to break. When it's wet, you can mold with it. That's why I said it is useful in molding of objects and even local pots. And then they had a diameter of less than what? 0.002 millimeter. With me here is an example of what? Loamy soil. Yes, it is caked. This is dried. But let's see. Okay. It's caked already most time. When you wet it with water, it's sticky. When you break, you discover that it is powdery. It is powdery, unlike the clay soil and all that. Now, having looked at that, the characteristics of clay soil, it is fine, powdery and smooth when what? Dry, sticky and moody, tightly bound together and holds water. And it's poorly aerated. Why is it poorly aerated? Because the pore spaces are very tight together. And so it supports waterlogging. That's why it supports what? Waterlogging. It doesn't support quick infiltration of water and percolation of water. Now, it can be improved by liming or organic manure application to the soil. So that is what clay soil is all about. And you may want to ask, is it good for agricultural production? Well, it's not ordered good for agricultural production. Why? Because the nutrient there just slightly available. But you can improve it by breaking it down and applying. That's why we say you can improve it by liming and organic manure application. That helps in agriculture. You can plant your yam in clay soil. Yams can be planted. Other plants like oil palm can do well there, and most trees can do well in clay soil. But the best soil for agriculture is the loamy soil. So having discussed this, I quite believe that you have understood what we have said, the types of soil. We have the sandy soil, the loamy soil, and what? The clay soil. The characteristics are stated. The loamy soil, the characteristics are stated. The clay soil, we have already stated what and explained the characteristics. So evaluation. I want you to attend this evaluation or class work, evaluation or homework, before the homework rather than evaluation. Mention the 3 types of soil. Already stated, mention the 3 types of soil. I believe it's in your mind right there. Then state 2 characteristics of what? Soil. Of each type of soil. 2 characteristics of each type of soil. Those are the evaluations I want you to take. The assignment: explain how sandy soil can be improved to support the growth of vegetable crops like cucumber, onion, watermelon, etc. So how can you do that? From the lesson, I believe you'll be able to derive some answers to those questions. Well, you do well to go through these notes. We'll come back next week. I'll give you a continuation of soil topic. We shall be dealing with soil profile and soil properties. And afterwards, we can run through some little practical on soil within the shortest time. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Stay safe.